You know, it's weird the mental games your brain plays. I think last week I was talking about that 20-year cookie, whatever the fuck it is, conceptually, that my brain wants for doing this for 20 years, that I honestly most likely already possess. I mean, what did I get for 20 years? I got to be a really good performer live on the microphone in front of crowds. And the punk rock artist in me looks at that as exactly, you got in exactly what you put in. You got stagecraft and 20 years of experience hosting an open mic and learning how to express yourself and find your own voice in writing and performance. Um, Accolades past that are kind of they're just, I don't know, they're just for the ego. Which, you gotta, I don't know, I've always run this gambit between hating my ego and feeding it. I don't uh I've always been I've always had self-loathing. I've gotten to the point in my life I used to hate myself. I can say that, and I can say I used to hate myself a lot because destructive behavior I did in my teens was just, off the chain. Very much somebody with a death wish, culminating in joining the army and kind of going down that path as the path that I've lived so far. Um, but through 20 years of doing poetry and learning how to tell jokes and performing in front of people and being, well, as honest with myself in my writing and with the audience, I've got to the point where I don't hate myself anymore. I have lots of things about myself I don't like, and I'm doing my best to try and fix those because it's your brain, it's your personality. If you see a broken nail sticking out of the damn handrail, you fucking fix that shit. Which is the metaphor. There are things I'm trying to fix. I'm trying to be a better listener. Performers, as a whole, no matter what medium, if you talk in front of people, you have the tendency to want to dominate a conversation because that's part of the id that drives you to speak in front of people. It makes you a really bad listener. You don't listen to what other people say. You're already queuing up what you're going to say next instead of actually entering a dialogue with people. I was really bad at that, and I still am a lot of the time. But I've made a concerted effort over the years of trying very hard to be a better, listen to people when they talk to you. Um, and because they are my friends. Why am I not listening to what my friends say? Why am I waiting for my turn to say whatever I say? That's what I do. That's what the microphones and open mics and doing poetry is for. That's when I can just randomly say something. Um, so yeah, it was it was a flaw in myself that I wanted to address, and I'm still struggling against. But I feel I'm making progress. I don't know. Some of my better friends can tell you how much better or worse I am at it, and they can probably give you different stories about when and which it's happening, depending on what my current emotional spectrum mood swing is. When the manic D when the bipolar is already in the manic side and I'm having a hard time keeping my thoughts on one planet, much less you know articulating one of them when there's like 12 going on at the same time. So I don't know. I try, but given the nature of my already base mental illness and the fact that I don't take medications for it. I worked in the pharmaceutical industry. It's not that I'm against medication. It's that I'm not a danger to myself or anyone else at this point. And so there's no need for the drugs. I mean, right now, the way I perceive my brain as an adversarial entity in my life, and that's true. I'm in one of my poems. My brain is not my friend. I know this. That's what helps me. That's what helps me keep track of the crazy bullshit that it tries to spew. Um, so knowing your brain is lying to you 90% of the time is an easy way to pick your way through the crazy thoughts, or at least it has been for me. It takes a lot of discipline. And it's difficult as fuck. But I'm stubborn enough to take a challenge over a pill, and I don't know. I self medicate with alcohol when I need to, and not so much anymore. And yeah, um, the weird thing last night was I was pain drinking last night because my spine hurt a lot. I have spells where it's just there's nothing. I can't sit down, stand up, anything without just pain in my spine. And that was really bad this last week. It's been a rough time at work. I'm trying to do better and do good, and I can feel some mobility returning in my lower spine, and that's kind of what the problem is right now. That extra mobility is causing all of the muscles and tendons around the pinched nerve. I think it's a sciatic nerve. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to. I keep I keep forgetting to look it up in anatomy on the net because I don't have my anatomy books anymore. But it's right along the spine, and it's down by the lumbar region, and it feels like I'm being stabbed randomly, and severely uncomfortable on the stage. I have to. Last night I was hosting a show, so I had to host the open mic and pain drink my way through a 2 hour show. It was probably apparent. First few years hosting shows, though, that was kind of there are many people that remember the Galileo poetry days as watching Tap get drunk and ramble. I don't know how fun that was. I know it was therapeutic for me at the time. I figured a lot of shit out on that microphone, and thus I'm here doing this confessional / diary to the net, chronicling the mental illness, and I don't know, figuring out the dementia thing. My brain tries to make me depressed a lot. It used to be like weird, like just the whole concept of what my death's gonna be like once I'm fucking I don't remember anything. That's the big one. Is not is that whole as I call it, the wiping of the hard drive. I'm not. That's it frightens me and it angers me, and I mean, I signed up to the army to fucking serve and capitalize on the one skill I had, which was fucking shit up, and I was the type of psychopath that you wanted me killing for you. But the price was my mind, which I'm not, like, morally I'm not so sure that's such a bad, morally I have no objection to it. I did bad things in combat, and if this is the price of the blood I spilt, then I accept that as part of stepping up to the table. But me. I'm going to lose everything that's me, and I don't ever remember putting that on the table when we were bargaining in this, and that's what makes me angry. I don't know how to I don't know how to articulate that all that well sometimes, and but it's always there. But I don't know. I fight a lot for it. I find that doing comedy, because I don't write anything down, I just go off the top of my head, is a good mental exercise towards remembering shit. Although it's really hard to. There are some things I just have a hard time with. I don't. When I was at iWhips, there are several people that I don't remember having conversations with, like at competitions before. And I wasn't that drunk or any of that. It's just, I don't know why that's not part of my memories, because national poetry events are my favorite memories, and that's frightening to me. Speaking of which, I'm going to the National Poetry Slam for the last time in August. After 20 years, I'm hanging up the gloves as far as slam goes. That's I love the medium and I love the sport of it, but hey. 20 years is a good run. I never really made it to finals on my own merit. I'm pretty notorious for being a good performer, though. Ask any of the guys that have been on final stages that have been up against me. They know that I'm spent 20 years and pretty good. So we're gonna call it, yeah, we're gonna call it a what do you call a career? If you slam a career, what I've never been getting paid to do this, but yeah, we're gonna call it a thing. I may slam again on like pickup teams for regional shit, but as far as representing Oklahoma City on the national stage, nah, and since no more. Um, they're gonna have to pick up the baton and run with it. You know, I've been kind of one of the more famous slam poets from this state for a very long time, so it's time for the scene to birth its new rock stars. Uh, so you know, hey, not going to be on that stage anymore. You might see me at shootout or something on a pickup team if I decide to do an event for fun, or somebody invites me out and goes, hey, you want to come out and have some fun and do some slam for just kicks? And yeah, I mean, because I still love it. I love the sport of it. I love the idea of it. I like it. I like the whole process of it. Drawing for order, getting ready to do your 3 minutes, seeing if you get to go to second round, man, all of it. That's the fun. It's the sport of spoken word. It's why I've been doing it for 20 years. I still love it. I just it's time to stop striving for nationals. I've tried for 20 years. I've tried out for this team for every year for 20 years. It's a good record. Not if it is even if it is a record. I think somebody might have me beat. I don't know. But yeah, it is an interesting time. I turn 47 next week, so I'll be talking about my birthday after in the next episode, most likely. I'm hosting an open mic on my birthday. That should be fun because I really do love hosting shows. It's my favorite thing to do, and telling jokes and hosting shows. So yeah, until I decide to talk to you guys again about what's going in my head, that will be it for